Today we're gonna design a food mobile delivery app from scratch. So this will be a longer tutorial, guys, but if you wanna learn Figma, by practicing you will learn. This is the best method. And usually when you start to create an interface, you can go to Dribble and look for inspiration. And as I typed here, food mobile app, these are the results, and I think they are astonishing. So as you can see, there are tons of creative shots out there, guys. So what you want to do next is just take a look at these, save them. I already did that. As you can see, these are the ones that I love the most. And by looking at them at one glance, you will see a lot of vitality, a lot of freshness. And this is exactly what we want to express when clients or recruiters are looking at our shots. Vitality, energy, and this can be expressed with the help of these colors such as red, orange, pure green, something like yellow. And if you want to learn what each color represents, I suggest you to read this article written by Jacqueline Renard. And as you can see, she explains it very well what each color represents. Yellow is youthfulness, optimism, cheerfulness; orange, friendliness, enthusiasm; green, vitality, health, tranquility; nature, red, passion, energy, urgency, vibrancy, and so on. And these are the ones that I like the most. As you can see, this one is very, very vivid because it's very different, because the use of this dark mode and this glass effect, and it's quite cool and it really stands apart. So what we want to create is something different. Look, this one is not tied to the food industry, but it's also amazing because the this designer used huge typography, and it really is different. And let's create something different today, and my main choice is Neo Brutalism. As you can see, I wrote just an article a few months ago, and I did a tutorial on how to create a Neo Brutalism website from scratch in Figma. Make sure you watch this video, guys, if you want to learn how to use auto layout and color variables and how to create websites. So what I did is I saved some icons. I set up my main station, to say it like this. I saved some icons that I thought are appropriate for this app. Maybe an avatar here, a profile picture, a regular shape that I might want to use for my logo. And my main choice for font will be something like Tanker. I think this font goes well with Neo Brutalism. So Neo Brutalism describes vivid colors, huge typography, bold, high contrast, strong separators, something like Gumroad. But I strongly recommend you guys read this article. It's very useful. As you can see, Gumroad uses Neo Brutalism, and the elements that make up an interface are usually color palette, typography, white space, imagery, UI components like inputs, call to actions, so on, and ornaments, details, these that can create a powerful impact. So let's go to work. Let's hit A and let's start the actual work. I'm choosing an iPhone 14, and this will be my first screen. And let's use a vivid color, something like that. I don't know, something like teal will work well. And let's create our logo. Let's put it like that. Let's go here, Tanker, and this is my main logo. So if you don't, let's arrange horizontal on a center by using this feature in Figma. And if you don't know what will be the name of your app, just go to ChatGPT and just type this prompt: I want to build a food mobile delivery app that helps people order tasty and healthy food. Can you please give me some ideas? And he already gave me some ideas, and I love this name, Tasty Tracks. Let's go here and just make sure, guys, that you let's align on the middle, and make sure, guys, that you are using ChatGPT a lot. This is your best friend when you are stuck and don't know what will be the next step. Let's decrease a bit the font size, something like 24 will work. Let's go here and let's copy this symbol, registered mark, Command D or Control D if you are in Windows in order to duplicate. Just decrease a bit the font size. Select both of these, create auto layout by holding Shift A, change the direction here, decrease the distance by going here, and let's make sure that it is top align left. And if you hover over these uh, squares here, these dots, you will see the what each one represents. So I'm choosing this one, and go to assets or icons and just go here, just copy this. I think that it with this shape it looks good. Just select here and let's move my head a bit, and let's make the logo white. Okay, let's select both and let's make sure that they are perfectly aligned horizontally and vertically. And let's decrease a bit one more time. I'm gonna be using multiple of 4 for my paddings and margins. Let's make sure these are perfectly aligned. Let's create something like a group logo. Okay, so make sure you go to font share and install this tasty tracks. This will be my logo, and let's use something like status bar. Oh, as you can see, I'm already using a design system because this will save me a lot of time. So make sure this is perfectly aligned and move it on the top. Okay, let's add a title here, some content, your food, your rules. Make sure is aligned on the center. Let's make sure it's tanker. Make sure it's perfectly aligned on the canvas. Let's make it something like 40. This will be our first H1. So go to typography, just go here. This is H1. Okay, and just go here on text, just create a new style and say H1. Okay, let's duplicate it. Let's create my H2. Let's unlink the style. Let's use something like 36. This is H2. Let's make it 32. And this is H2. Let's duplicate. This is H3. It's very important to set up your typography from scratch in order to be consistent. And this is, I think this is the same size. Let's make it something like 28. I think will work. We have to have a lot of variety and possibility. Let's make this 24. This will be our H4. This is, so this is H4. Okay, this is H5. So go here, H5, and this will be something like 18, our H6. So this is H6. And let's grab all these and go here, distribute vertical space in order to have the same space between these. So this is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and for our paragraphs, let's use another font. So you want to stick with one or two fonts maximum. So go here, make sure this is 16, and let's choose something like Cabinet Grotesque. Let's make it medium. This is a friendly font that I'm using. Also, you will find this on font share. I'm not sponsored. This is not the main sponsor of this video. I just love this website. And let's make two paragraphs. Let's make it one that is bigger and one that is smaller, and this will be paragraph regular big, and this will be paragraph regular. Okay, and if you want to be more consistent, you can make it like this. Go here, go here, just go on settings, paragraph, type a slash here. You can see, go here, and just make it like this. And now if you want to turn this one into a paragraph, you will see that, oh, I made a mistake. So let's rename this. Let's unbroke. Let's make it something like that. Let's create a new style, paragraph big. And as you can see here, if you want to create a paragraph, you see regular and big, and you can delete this one. So we have paragraphs, big, regular, under paragraphs, and headlines like this. And okay, we are good to go. We can group this one into headlines, but let's make it like this. Okay, so this will be an H1. Okay, let's add a paragraph. Let's go here and make it something like big, and go here to lorem ipsum in order to add a bit of a text. Okay, guys, so let's go here on typography, and let's add a bit of a, let's increase a bit the line height, and again here on this one, let's increase a bit like that. Okay, so you can see, if you want to make even bigger the line height in order to increase a bit the white space, I think you can do it by here also. Okay, so we created our content. Let's select all these two, and let's hold Shift A in order to add our auto layout. Let's make this content. Let's give it a fixed width of 350 pixels. Let's align them on the middle, and let's select each layer underneath, inside, and just make it fill. Okay, so now we have to create our progress map, progress indicator, something like 8, and we're gonna use 3 slides, and just type R and make it something like this. One will be selected. Okay, let's make sure this is rounded. Select both these three components. Again, auto layout, and this will be our progress indicator component. Just grab it, place it underneath this paragraph, and if you want to increase the padding, just click, make an auto layout of these two, copy, and make it something like text. And let's decrease a bit, something like 4, and select the parent component and make something like 16. Okay, so you see it's starting to take form, and let's create our first button, something like get started. Okay, for our buttons we're gonna be using H6. Okay, make sure you select this, place it underneath progress indicator. Okay, make sure it's aligned horizontally, and Shift A in order to create the auto layout, and just add a fill and make sure this is filled, and make sure this is aligned on the center, and make sure we have something like 24. Let's make a peel. Okay, let's increase a bit the height, maybe something like 46. We want our button to be visible, and this will be called call to action. Okay, and in order to add something like to give a style that it's part of the Neo Brutalism, go to effects. Let's add a drop shadow that has no blur. Let's make it on the x-axis 4 pixel, on the y 4 pixel. Let's increase the opacity, and let's add a bit of a stroke in order to be much better. And as you can see, guys, it's already good. We are good. Let's make it 1.5. Okay, and now let's add a bit of a bar here because we are dealing with iOS. Let's increase, let's make it something like 8. Let's make it dark, let's make it align perfectly, and let's make it like this. Let's decrease a bit the height. Okay, and let's see, 8 pixels. Okay, and of course this is the text, this is the progress indicator. Let's select both these. Let's say something like text, and in order to increase the distance here, just make sure you drag it all the way something like 40, and you see. So let's make it 32. I think it's too much. So between the h1 and the paragraph we have 4 pixels. Between uh, text and progress indicator we have 16. Let's make it 20. And between the content here and the button we have 32. So I think let's increase a bit here, 20. I think it's much better. Okay guys, so we have our first screen here. I think is pretty good. Let's select the text inside this button by holding command, and you will select the element inside. It's a little trick for you, and select the button and just make sure here it's 16 pixels. Okay, and here it's 11. Okay, so I think it's pretty good. Let's move it a bit on the bottom. Let's add our first image. You can go here, just type add a burger or something like that. Go to Photoshop, just take rid of the background, save it as PNG, and grab it here in order to add that wow effect. But I think I already done that. As you can see, this is my burger. Okay, this burger is quite spectacular. Let's make it something like 250 pixels, and you can increase here. So you have to play with styles, you have to be creative. You can go and look on Dribble what other designers did, and you start to inspire, or just as you know how they say, good designers copy, great designers steal. So let's make it something like that. Okay, let's make it something like, so I'm very meticulous and rigorous with uh, paddings, and to have fixed width and height. Okay, so let's move this on the top. This is the image that I'm using from raw pixel. This will be our burger. This will be our bar, bottom bar. Let's turn this one into a symbol. Okay, so now we have our first uh, let's increase a bit, 300, and okay. Okay guys, so between this one and this one I want to be 80. Between this one and this one, let's make it like this. I have 32, and I think we are good. Okay, okay, so this is our first screen. Let's select it, Command D in order to duplicate. And what I want to do here is just change something. Food, tasty food, right where you are. I don't know, something like that. Let's change this, and let's switch positions, because this will be the second the user will swipe. Let's change a bit the color. I don't know, something like this coral or red orange. Okay, let's decrease a bit the height, the line height of this H1, because I think this is too much. Okay, let's make something like that and duplicate. Let's use something like mauve or purple. I don't know, something that works well with these colors. And okay, and I don't know, can you resist something like that, guys? I don't know, regarding the headlines, you name it, use whatever you feel it will be appropriate for you. So okay, let's move my head here. Okay, something like that. And let's use another image here. Let's move it fast. I don't know, these pancakes, I think. Again, use something like that, guys. Let's make sure this is, again, make sure this is 30 pixels. So if you want to stay pretty accurate, select all these three images and just make it like this. Select these three and just align them perfectly. Okay, let's use here another image. Go select this artboard. I don't know, let's make sure the human factor is also present. Okay, 300. I'm using this girl, and I think this is good. Okay, let's decrease a bit, 250. Okay, let's add this below. Okay, just increase a bit the exposure, but not too much, by clicking twice on the image a bit. But let's, okay, I like this girl a lot. Okay, so these are my onboarding screens. I hope you are with me, guys. So make sure you pay attention. I think I'm moving kind of fast because I want also this tutorial to not be that long. I don't want to bore you. So this is how you choose your colors. Just if you don't know how, just go and read this article, go to Dribble, practice a lot. Make sure this is very simple. So as you can see, one vivid color, one color for typography, white, black, and that's it. So 2 or 3 neutral colors and 1 vivid colors, accent color, and you're good to go. So keep it simple. And let's say the user clicks on get started on, and we want to create our first. So something like that. Continue with. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this progress indicator. Command Shift G in order to ungroup, Command Shift G in order to ungroup, and let's say something like Google, continue with Google, duplicate with Facebook, okay, duplicate something like Apple, it can be LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it, and let's make sure we copy and paste, copy and paste. We want our layers to be well renamed in order to recognize. Select all these three buttons, again Shift A in order to create an auto layout called social media, decrease the distance 12, okay, and let's select our first, let's move my head here again, and let's create something like cream, no, something like that for our background. And I want to use cream because it will work well with food. And yes, make it more yellow. Okay, this will be our background, and go here, select Google, and let's select Google icon. So you see how a design system it will save us a lot of time. Facebook, Facebook is here, and select Apple. Apple is here. So as you can see, I already added these icons because if I had to go on other website and just look for these icons, let's decrease a bit, make it 20, 20, 20. And if you pay attention on these buttons, you will see that this text is not perfectly aligned on the middle because of this element on the left. It will push him on the right. So a cool trick for you guys, just go here, type R for rectangle, and just make sure you will use a rectangle that has the same height and width of this icon, so 20 pixels, and this way it will fix the problem. So just copy here, just make sure it has no fill, is invisible, select the button here, Facebook, select Apple, and as you can see, we are good to go. So move again my head. And if not, let's copy here and let's say something paste, and or if he doesn't want to, let's make sure something like H5, and he wants to continue with his email address as you probably are used. So make sure, let's move again, make sure you select H6 for our input, just duplicate, and let's make sure this, oh my god, this is our label, and use something like, for instance, Jonathan Doe around his company.com. Okay, select this, hold on Shift A in order to add an auto layout, just grab it like this, and make sure this is 350, add a fill, something like darker, bit darker here. Okay, let's make sure this is filled, because if he has a long name or a long name for his company, it will perfectly adapt. Okay, this will be our input. Let's decrease a bit the opacity because this is just a placeholder. And okay, select both these, again auto layout, email address, okay, and let's just copy this button and just select the artboard and just paste it here. And for our primary color, it will be this green. I love it. It will work well for food mobile delivery apps with food. Okay, just select both. So you see I'm using auto layout a lot, and this is continue or continue with email address, and I think this has to be filled. Okay, so this is our continue but our board here screen. Okay, so as you can see in mobile apps, you have this text at the beginning. Let's add this. Okay, I already have this text. So you see, I am using a lot elements that I have. So this is a new UI kit that I'm using, that I've done a few years ago. So why not use what you have, guys, in order to save you some time. Okay, so let's make sure this one is also with cabinet grotesque. This one is also cabinet grotesque, and make sure you are using, let's get rid of these colors. Let's use pure black. Get rid of these colors, pure black and pure black, pure black. Okay, so let's make sure this one terms of service are linked. So let's unlink, because we have to add an underline effect. And again, on privacy and policy, unlink, and let's make sure this is again underline, acknowledge. Okay, by joining testy tracks. Okay, and let's unlink. Let's click here. Okay, in order to add a field a bit, okay, underneath. Okay, just make it like this and make 24. So there wasn't needed for two components, just one, and add a background, add a bit of a shadow, 2 on blur, 1, something like 12. Okay, so this will work, and let's make it 14. I want this to be 14, and just make sure. Okay, select both, and this one auto layout, and make sure it's here. Make sure you switch the position of these two. Let's go here to fixed 350. Okay, select this one and give it a fill. Okay, so we are good to go. And again, this one and this one, again, an auto layout text. Move it behind, below the email. Okay, let's decrease a bit the distance, 12. Let's make sure this one is a bit on top, and let's make sure this 24. Okay, so let's make sure email is inside. Okay, and now we are getting closer. So this is social media. This, let's say, this is part, again, auto layout, email, and let's decrease the distance between these two, something like 32. But between this one and this one, again, on auto layout, continue. Let's make sure it's social media. This one is 20 or 24, and between these two, let's make 40. Okay guys, so one more thing, go here and let's make sure this is 12. Okay, no, 10. I think 12 is too much. And as you can see, we are dealing with this. And let's create another screen, and let's make sure this is he doesn't want to continue with social media but with email address. And let's say my email address is hello around or something like Doreen around premiumuykids.com. Click 0 in order to increase the opacity back, and this is when he clicks on the input, it will have another style. Okay, so this is our address, and I want to use, let's make sure we add this here, and let's make sure we add this here. Let's place it on the bottom, and the entire content, it will move a bit out on the top. Okay, so now let's make it more accurate, and we have to show to the users that we are typing premium, something like that. Okay, and now let's duplicate. Now let's copy this style by holding Option Command C. Go here, Option Command V. premiumuykids.com. This is my main address, and if the system will recognize this email address, it will say here something like welcome back. Okay, let's get rid of this social media, get rid of this one, get rid of this one, get rid of, because he recognized, and we want to duplicate and say here password. Okay, and this one, it will be no label here, no placeholder. Okay, but I want to add something like duplicate here in order to add something cool. And let's make sure this is on the right, and make sure this is a regular paragraph, something like forgot. So he forgot his password. And let's make sure we select this, and let's show that it's perfectly aligned on the middle. Okay, guys, so it's starting to take shape, and let's select this one and let's move it like this. Okay, so here we have to go a bit here. Okay, and if he clicks on getting started, if he wants to go back, let's use something like assets, close. Let's make sure we are on here. Okay, so we are giving him the possibility to go back to the main screen. Okay, let's decrease a bit the size, and okay, let's increase a bit the thickness, 2.4. I think will work well. Okay, and let's get rid of the logo. Okay, copy and paste. And now we want a back arrow because we want to give him the possibility to go back. So this will be something like 20. Let's increase a bit, 2.4. I think it's too much, 1.7. Okay, guys, so this will be our login screen. Go here, just use something like paragraph. Okay, make sure it's bigger, so use big. Make sure this is aligned on the center. Okay guys, so this is get started. After that, uh, duplicate something like two-factor authentication. Let's make sure this is an H2, or I think this H1 is way too big. Let's go here and let's make it something like 36. Yes, will work well. And let's decrease a bit. Okay, so this is two-factor authentication, and this is verify, something like two, verify code. Okay, so make sure you add a paragraph here or something like that. I think I will have something like that. I don't know where it is right now, but just go here and say something like that. Add this, duplicate, make sure this is a paragraph, and say we want to verify its use, so we send you a code to your email address. Okay, duplicate, didn't receive the code. Okay, and add here again this button and something like resend, and make sure this is hugged, and make sure this is hugged. Okay, select the button. Okay, and this didn't, because this is a group. My suggestion is to learn the Gestalt principle here, guys. And this one, no, this is not. Okay, this is an auto layout, and I have to make sure this is 8, and this group is way too the distance way too big. Let's select this, let's change the direction, make sure it's on the middle. Let's make sure this is hugged, and okay, let's make sure it's on the middle. Okay guys, so this is the another screen. So he has to, let's make this more accurate, and let's make sure on this input we just type the password. Let's make sure this is black. Let's select the input, let's make sure it's on the left, and the distance between the circles I want to be very small, and here let's decrease a bit. I think 6 will work. Duplicate by holding Command D, and this is our password, and let's make sure this is still 46. Okay, so increase a bit the height of this input. And after he added his email address, after he completed his password, get started. Okay, so let's copy and paste. Okay, let's get rid. Okay, so what did I do? Let's delete, and let's make sure here we add something like verification code, and let's get rid of all these, and this will be something like code, I don't know, air hash. Okay, something like this, or and ready to taste the magic. Okay, so if once he verified the code, let's make sure we unlink this because we want something like bold, copy, paste, something like that, and he enters in the home. Okay, so this is, let's delete ungroup, 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 and let's delete all. This is our home. Okay guys, so this is his home. This is the flow for the login users, for logged users. So this is home. Okay, this has to be something like that, and this is our home. So here I have to go to these 3 points here and just make sure it will take its width. So let's create the home. So let's say on home we want this style. So select, copy, alt, command C, just paste, and let's add his email address. My email street. This is my email address. Let's add a pin here and let's go to asset pin. Let's make sure this local component is selected. Okay, let's just go here, select, make sure it has doesn't have this background underneath. Let's see what it has here. Okay, okay guys, select both these two, make sure it's auto layout, make sure you change the positions here. Let's make sure it's perfectly aligned. Just give it a, okay, so delivering here, this will be our header. Let's make sure we add a search, and in order to add a search I already created a search input, so I know it will be something like that. I don't know, it will save me a lot of time. Let's change its, let's align on the middle. Okay, make sure this is like that, and let's make sure we unbroke every see, just make sure you're using styles for your document. And he wants to search for place or brand, restaurant, brand, I don't know, food type. Okay, let's make sure it has the same. We're gonna be using something like black but with 5 as opacity, so, or just copy the style of this one, paste it. Okay, and make sure this is hugged. Okay, okay guys, so this make sure this is this will take the form of a pill, and select these two guys from here and make it an auto layout group layer called header. Okay, okay, so this has to be 375, and the element will go something like this, and here the distance is way too big, and it has to be something like that, has to be filled. Okay, and the distance is too small, let's make it something like 16. Okay, let's add our icons. So I think the icons will be something like this. So we have to add these categories. So go here to work, go to assets, and just type pizza. Let's make sure local components. Okay, this is the pizza. Just duplicate and go here. And because I turned out these ones into symbols, I can go here and just select and just type burger. Okay, go here, Command D, duplicate something like pasta. Go here, something like um, seafood, something like pastry. Okay, what else do we have? Let's just go meat. Okay, and we want something like grill. Okay, okay guys, select all these icons, hold Shift A in order to add an auto layout. Let's rename these categories. Okay, this has to be 40. Okay, so again, this is, let's detach. Let's make sure we add that rectangle that has the same height, 20 pixels. Okay, ungroup, and now it's perfectly aligned on center. Okay guys, just make sure you select again auto layout. Just give it a bit of a fixed, add a field. Okay, let's make sure it's something like 48. Give it a bit of a, let's make sure it's hugged. Okay, 4, 4, maybe something like 8 will work. Okay, add a bit of a stroke. Let's copy the style of this button and go here and just select. Okay, and I think let's preserve 8 and 8. Let's go here, and I think it's too big, the shadow. Let's decrease a bit the sizes, and you see we are starting to give it a bit of a Neo Brutalism. This is called pizza. Make sure you add an auto layout. Okay, let's decrease pizza, and let's make sure it's burger. So you wanna make sure that delete burger, and let's see. Okay, 8, 8. Let's make sure this is fixed, and let's make sure this is 40. Add auto layout, paste 40, 40 again. Here again, auto layout 40. Okay, 40. Again, auto layout fixed, fixed 40, 40. Okay, and let's categories. Let's decrease a bit the. Okay, so you have to give it a feeling that he can swipe in order to see more categories. Let's make it something like that. Okay, let's make it something like that. No, because I want to add a filter here. So let's copy this one, go here, and let's make sure this is field, and let's make sure this is field container, and let's turn this one into a button. Let's make sure this is 30, let's make sure we add something like filter. Okay, let's make sure this is the same color as our main call to action. Let's select this one, and let's make it a bit smaller, something like 36 and 36 here. Okay guys, this is our header, and let's make sure this is perfectly aligned, and let's increase something like 390. So we have 20 pixels on the left and right, and yes, this is, we're good to go. Okay, so let's add our first best rated near you. Something like that, guys. Make sure it has something like this. Let's add an icon here because he has to see them all restaurants, and let's make it smaller. Let's make this white. Let's select arrow, so no arrow, go to here, and let's make sure. Okay, so make sure this arrow is a bit thicker, something like 1.7, and let's make sure this is link this one. Let's make sure this is something like 20, and this is fixed, and let's make sure this is 16. Okay, select both these layers, this forward, this is see more button. Okay, just make sure these are title. This is again an auto layout. Okay, let's arrange a bit. This is my header, my bar, header, categories, title, and let's make sure this has 390, and we want to be filled. Okay, arrange perfectly on the middle, and let's make sure here, and let's make sure here is auto. And okay, let's add an image. I don't know, let's make it 16, let's make it 190 for our height. Okay, let's make it something like that. Let's select this guy by holding command in order to select the element inside. As I said, let's add a title for our first restaurant. I don't know, let's move my head. So as you can see, I'm starting to talking like in terms of Figma, my header instead of my head. Okay, so this will be something like, I don't know, sushi terra, sushi mania, or I don't know. Okay, so usually a restaurant has a title, has a time, so in the delivery, in what time is delivered, so make sure something like 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, so go to typography, duplicate, and make sure we have another paragraph that is smaller. 14, go here, select, type another style, paragraph, just make it small. And now we have 3 paragraphs. Go again to your work, select, and let me make sure small is selected. Okay, so this is my 20 or 30 minutes delivery. Let's add an icon. So I think this icon, or by bicycle or by truck, is useful. So go to assets, make sure truck, add this truck here, delete, go to your layer, select truck, select this guy, decrease. Okay, make sure this is linked, and let's make it 20, and select this one and increase a bit, like 8 will work. Move again Sushi Mania, and this one delivery info selected. Make sure you select both of these, align, justify on left, and this is my title. This is my title, this is my image, this is the title of the restaurant. Okay, make sure, let's decrease a bit the line height. I think it's too much. Okay, guys, so let's duplicate. Okay, this is the delivery info and this is the delivery price. Okay, price will be something like $4.99, and for this icon I think we have to choose a clock because it's way better. Let's decrease to 4. Let's decrease to 4, and let's decrease a bit the line height because it's not perfectly aligned on the middle. So you see, as I'm decreasing the line height, the icon, it's starting to be on the same level on vertically. So this is 20 pixel. Make sure this is 20 pixels as well. Go here and just make sure these are perfectly aligned, and the distance between these two is 20. And I think this clock is way too thick, so let's decrease a bit. But I think the best icons are the ones that provide that you can manipulate the width of the stroke, but this one hasn't have this feature, and we're gonna decrease by 0.2, and let's make sure you add the same color as the background, and now it's it has the same width of the stroke as the truck. So in order to keep consistency, this is a little trick that I do all the time because it will save me some time. So you have to always to make sure that your time is getting reduced, and let's add so you have to use whatever you have at hand. Okay, let's make sure we add another component, something like ratings. This has a good rating on 98%, rated by 511 people. Let's make sure this is a paragraph and it's big or regular. Okay, let's put this here, and let's go to assets, and let's see something like thumb, something like star. Okay, I like this one. So what's the name? Star. And let's turn this one into a symbol. I forgot apparently. So go to work, go to assets, type star, go here, go to layers, select both these ones. Let's make sure it's 8. Let's make sure it's perfectly aligned on the middle. Let's make sure it's 4. And as you can see here, let's unbroke, because let's decrease. Or now I'm broke. I think there's no need. And let's make sure this is 20. Okay. Okay, now we have to select something like title, something like rates, and goes here title, and just move down here. Okay, and let's make an auto layout from this one again, auto layout delivery, and make sure here is selected. Okay, this one, let's make sure fill container is selected, and again auto layout by selecting to this, and this call excerpt. Okay, this image with this image auto layout, and this is one restaurant one, and it has a fixed width of 340. And let's make sure every element inside is on the field. This one, this one, this one. Okay, this title field, and you see the content, it takes the width of what I gave. Okay, but I don't know, this one's it's okay with hugged. Okay, let's make sure we unlink this, and let's make this bold. Okay, and let's make sure this one is like that. Okay, so this is the excerpt, this is my image, and I don't know, for images, let's see if I have something in my computer. If not, go to Unsplash, guys, just type here restaurants, or I don't know, something like that. Just grab a picture, I don't know, something like that. Just copy the image, go here, select the layer inside, and just copy and paste, and you see it reduces a lot of time. And let's add one more thing. Let's add an effect of a drop shadow, and let's add something like 3 decrease. Okay, and let's make sure this is something no, again another drop shadow, and let's make sure this is 5, and let's make sure you select this one, and this one is the same color as the background, it has no blur. Okay, and this one is 4, and add a stroke, and you see it's a cool effect, something like that. So what did I do? Just add a stroke of 1, and just add 2 shadows. The one that it takes the color of the background, it is 4 and 4, and the one that is 5 and 5, or 6 if you want to make it more visible, and it's something like that. And you can decrease 3 3, go here and make sure 5 5, I don't know, something like that will work. And make sure you duplicate this one, and make sure you paste it like this, put it like this, and the distance between these two is 12, it is 20. Go here, just choose another one, copy image, go here, paste it. As you can see, it's starting to take shape. This is best. Let's select this one, copy, go here, make a group called like this, duplicate this group. Okay, let's add one more category. Okay, Let's make it 28 in order to give a clean effect. And you see the distance between these two and these two and this restaurant is, no, I like 20, it's better. And let's choose something like best rated promotions, something like hot promotions. Okay, again, change the title, I don't know, pizza, um, pizza cravings, I don't know. So for restaurants you can choose whatever you want. So the distance here has to be something like 48. Just copy the style, paste it, everywhere. Okay guys, so this comes with a lot of experience. I've been creating UI kits for about 7 years now, or I don't know. So if this one has a bit of a worse, not so good ratings, you can decrease this, can make this one orange, something like that. Make sure you select these little two dots here, because the rating is not so good, is not green, is not closer to 100%. And you can go on and do this kind of tricks. Just go here, just type pizza, select one that is free orientation to landscape. I think this one is good. So in these days, designers have a lot of possibilities. When I started out in 2010, I didn't have nothing. I had to take a pizza and just create a screenshot or something like that. So you see, let's make sure another restaurant here is type. Just make sure you add a lot of variety. Okay, just paste this one here. And let's create one more screen, guys. And let's make sure the user will click here on pizza. And let's see that pizza is with this color here. And now we have this. Let's copy this. And let's paste it here. And let's say we selected pizza. Go here and let's add this in order to take its width. And I say pizza restaurants. And let's just make sure that are 48 near my house. Okay, and let's just grab this one and select the artboard, just copy and paste a lot. So you see, and this one is 390. Okay, and this is pizzicato. I don't know regarding the names. I'm not that good with names, but you can ask again ChatGPT. Select, duplicate. Let's make sure 24 is between the distance between these ones. Okay, duplicate. Let's select these two, group them into an auto layout. Let's call feed. This will go along. So just go here. This one is selected. You can unselect by unclicking it. So if you want a better user experience, you can add labels under each circle by explaining to users what each one represents. If not, he can click on this each icon and see what each one represents by clicking on it. Okay, so let's stop here, guys, for our first session, and let's create part 2 and part 3. and because it will take me a lot of time and I have to feed my kids because I have uh, two kids and one wife. So it's pretty good for me, but in the same time, it takes me a lot of time. So make sure you stay up to the second part that I'm going to create these days. So we want to address the flow for unregistered users, the ones that haven't created an account yet. So it will take another flow. If you don't know how to create apps, just go to Google Play or go to App Store, download some of your apps in your countries that are famous, just study them, and just make sure you you do a lot of screenshots, save it to your computer, and analyze a bit the flows there, and make sure you make something like that in the first place, especially if you are a beginner. So until the next time, make sure you unsubscribe, you unlike this video. No, I'm joking. Please give subscribe and like, because it means a lot to me. So till next time, make sure you watch the community tab in my YouTube, because I will announce my next video, the part 2. So if you are interested in how to work with Figma and how to create this app will be yours. In the next video, we'll address unregistered account, and we're gonna be using color variables and auto layout, and we're gonna make the dark theme out of it. So cheers. Make sure you subscribe and like and share it with all your family and friends and neighbors and whatever. So thank you guys for your attention. Bye bye.